if you won the lotto, this life-changing amount of money, what would the first thing that you buy be? And then, how would it change your life? We say life-changing amount of money, but like, how would your life change? And for a lot of us growing up poor and never having so much money, we're broke. Our parents didn't have money. We don't come from wealth. People like you and me, it would be such a remarkable difference from our current circumstances. And you know, the most amount of money I've ever earned in a year is about 30 odd K, 35K. You know, I am not a high top earner person making 100K a year type of situation where I've ever had a lot of money. So to be able to suddenly have access to money, would I be like those people who buy the Ferraris and the mansions and the super yachts, and then they've spent their life-changing money in one go and then they're broke again? The amount of stories of people who've won the lotto and then end up broke is a very high statistic likelihood that we would become one of those. Is that true? And why is it true? Why? Is it just financial irresponsibility as broke people? We don't know how to handle money. So surely then the thing would be, the first thing you should buy is simply a decent house. A house, not a mansion that you cannot afford to run, but like a nice house that you would be comfortable with and you can live on, and you don't have to pay rent, and you've got enough money to then do whatever with in life. But once you have your house sorted, you don't have to pay rent, and that's the biggest expense of your entire life. So surely that would be the first thing I would wish to buy. The amount of money required for food and bills and electricity is so little. So then, if you had some left over and you put into an index fund and had like this residual income from passive income, you know, that's what they call it, passive income of, you know, whatever, even 10K a year of passive income when you have your house paid off is probably enough to live on. But like, that's me in this like poor mind thinking, because I don't know how to spend money because I've never had money. But like, if I had money, would I just go crazy? I don't know. And then is my life going to be so much different? Like, and this is it. It's like, okay, yes, let's say not only do I have the money for the house, I have money enough for the rest of my life. Every day of the year, I can spend almost, you know, not in reality, but like, I will never really have to worry about money again. And let's say I don't just buy supercars every day, but like within some reason. What would I do with myself? What would be the thing that you would do when you no longer have to chase money, when you are freed from this chain, this slavery of capitalism? I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about, because we perceive and put all of our worth almost as our identities of what we do in life, who we become. I'm an engineer, or I'm a lawyer, or I'm a doctor. Would you do those things without money, without the need for money? And like, to be a doctor, sure, but like, you wouldn't want to be a doctor that worked like 80 hours a week, 13-hour days. You would be a doctor that does it for the love of it, but you wouldn't want to overwork yourself. So you'd pick and choose. I don't know. There's still like good things to be in life. I'm not going to be a doctor. I don't have the skills, the patience, or the desire for that. But so what would I do? What would you do with life-changing money? I'd probably make some music. I wouldn't need it to become successful with the music. So it's like a hobby, creative hobbies, output. I'd probably still make some YouTube videos for the fun of it. I'd try invent things, like create things for the fun of it. Add value to the world in some capacity. But I don't think I'd be out there buying supercars. I don't think that's me. But they say money changes you. Or does it just make you reveal who you truly were underneath everything anyway? I mean, I'd spend a lot on going on holidays. I think traveling the world, staying in fancy hotels. That's what I would. That would be my weakness. Is absolutely fancy hotels, the experiences, nice food, going to concerts, over supercars. But like, that's not that expensive, is it? That's not that expensive. That's not like I'm spending millions. I'm not going to spend millions on a holiday. I mean, obviously there are very rich people that will do that, but I mean, I'm just too poor to even imagine what it's like to be rich. But then what do? Do I just live life on holiday like Dua Lipa? That's what she does. Goes, plays her concerts, and lives life on holiday. I think that's like what she's famous and doing this like one dance move. Some people have life on easy mode once they've made it. It's the dream though, isn't it? Anyway. This is if you haven't heard, cannot tell, I mean, this is a completely unscripted, unthought. I'm just having these thoughts at the moment as I'm going along with this video. Because I'm in a lazy day today. My brain is, I was out all day, and so I don't have much mental energy left. But I still wanted to make a video. I found this topic from doing a random topic generator. And now I've just rambled on about it for a few minutes to have an interesting thought about a video to keep my goal of making these videos every day going. So, thanks for listening. What would you do if you had life-changing money, and how would it change your life? Something interesting to think about. Because perhaps if you did that, money was no longer an issue. Obviously that's a cliche. Everybody's talked about that before, but maybe there is something to it that we should move in those directions more intentionally in life and take the risk. Anyway, thanks for listening. Wish me luck.